Welcome back to The Division 2. In this video we're going to be talking about the PTS, and before any of you leave comments saying, oh, I thought you said you were done with this game. I'm done with the development of the game. I'm not watching State of the Games, not following any of that stuff. If I hear anything good or at least decent about the game, then I'll check it out. When they drop new updates, I'll check them out, but I'm not following the development because I cannot be bothered to listen to their lies week after week. And before any of you start defending it, I jumped on the PTS, that's the footage you're seeing, and it's exactly how I thought it would be. Nothing's changed, no bug fixes, no nothing. It works exactly the same as the current game does now. The only thing they've done is slapped more gear into the game just to try and hide the fact that it's a broken mess. We got to floor 10 in the summit, and by the time we hit like floor 5 or 6, we were begging to get out. The only reason we stayed in is so that I could test the new exotic shotgun against a named lieutenant. So the main testing for this PTS is to test out the new gear, the optimization station and stuff. And we didn't do too much with it. We didn't test the optimization station. We don't actually have high level characters on PC. I'm shade level 8 for an example. But we grabbed the caches from the vendor and we put together random builds. I ran 5p striker with Coyote's mask, and I was using the new Scorpio exotic shotgun. Pete was running the capacitor assault rifle, and he was also running the waveform holster, because they are both linked to skill builds. The only reason I tested this PTS is because of that Scorpio shotgun. I've heard it's incredibly powerful. But don't go thinking, oh, that's amazing, I can't wait for it to come into the live build, because normally if something's that good, it's going to get nerfed. But the capacitor from Pete's experience isn't the greatest. I haven't used it yet, although when the live build comes out and I get my hands on it, if I play for long enough, because it's going to be tied to the season pass, if I do enjoy it, I'll put a build together. Same with the Scorpio and the waveform, because I've got to try fully optimized builds for it. But the waveform from Pete's experience is a pretty good holster. And then from my experience, if you can set it up properly, the Scorpio will be decent. The Scorpio is basically going to apply different status effects, so I don't know if it's going to be better on a DPS build or a status effect build, but it does seem to be pretty powerful. The only downfall with the Scorpio is the fact that it's a shotgun. You have to be up close and personal. Survivability has always sucked in this game, so it's not really beneficial, and especially if you're dealing high damage against reds, purples and elites, then there is no point using it. You might as well just use another weapon, because those status effects don't pass on, they don't do anything like that. Once you've landed 6 shots, you apply shock, so the enemy gets stunned, and that's only really going to help out with hunters, rogue agents, named bosses and things like that, because they take more punishment before they go down. So you can apply the 6th shot and shock them so they can't attack you. Then on shot number 7 they take 20% extra damage from all sources. So it could work out. I'm not fully giving an opinion on the Scorpio just yet. It was decent, but it was risky to run. The waveform, I will check it out when I get access to my actual skill builds, because they don't have cross save. I can't use my Xbox stuff on PC. But I can tell you as well that this is not going to go down well. They are basically just putting layer upon layer again, just coating the same shit they've been coating for the last however many months now. I think we're coming on 20 months or something. And it's just not looking or feeling any better than what it was before the PTS. It really isn't. For an example, when they say they're adding more objective types for the summit, they've done that twice now. They are not actually doing that. They are simply adding variants of the current objectives. But what makes that worse? Is there anything that can make it worse? Oh, yes, there is. Let's just say, when the summit first came out, there were far too many Shade Crate objectives, so they made them more of a rare occurrence, which was a lie. But then something happened, and after the Shade Crates were quote-unquote fixed, the drone objectives started becoming far too common. So they fixed those ones. And what is it now? There are far too many hostage situations. So the next update, Title Update 13, will add more objective types, and it will stop the occurrence being so common for the hostage situations. My guess is the next one to be too common is the Warhounds, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Still, they haven't done any design fixes to this mode. You still have doors that aren't actually attached to walls. And you now, because we are so used to playing Xbox and we were playing this on PC, obviously, because of the PTS, we are so used to different buttons and stuff, and haven't played the Division 2 on PC in a long time, that I was pressing cover instead of climb. And let's just say, I'll just leave it. You can see the gameplay in the background. I was kind of a little bit of the way up the ladder, and took cover and was moving side to side halfway up these servers. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But one of the biggest problems is you report this to the forums, or you mention it on Twitter, or you put out a video like I am, and none of it gets fixed. It doesn't even get acknowledged that these are problems. The game is just so boring because all they're doing, this PTS, is just for the optimization station and Season 4 gear. You don't get to test the Nightmare event, you don't get to test anything like that. There's no actual new content because the Nightmare event is just a limited time event. That will come into the game for, I don't know, a month or two, and then it'll disappear, probably never to be seen again. Whereas, they're still at it, creating the one global event every 3 months and just recycling the old ones into the new seasons. So unless there are huge changes, I'm not going to bother with the next phase of PTS. I'm not going to be playing the game, not even on my Xbox or anything, because I'm having fun on other games, I really can't be bothered. And when the live build comes out, because I can't be asked to watch State of the Game, once the live build does come out, I will test it. If I like it, I will continue to play, although there's no new content, so it'll just be like grinding through the levels. So if I can be bothered to grind, then you'll see builds for the Waveform, the Scorpio, if I can try the capacitor on a different build, and if I can find something that works for it, then you might see videos based around those. And then if the Nightmare event is any good when that launches, you might see a video for that. Other than that, the only other footage I have is old challenges that I did. So that's all you're going to see in terms of The Division 2. Because as I said, I'm not following the development. I saw a lot of comments, oh, how many times you said you're done with this game now? Once. And I said it once back in 2019. I've been pissed off with the game pretty much ever since, but I only said I was leaving the game once. And I probably made a huge mistake actually coming back, because the game is just getting worse and worse. When I say worse and worse, across all platforms, they're struggling to get 5,000 concurrent players on a daily basis. It's dropping to the levels of Marvel's Avengers, would you believe? On that note, we're done with the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. Like, some of you have probably got like min-maxed builds and everything on PC and tested the PTS, and some of the stuff might feel better. But I can tell you another thing, I'm pretty sure it's a weapon called Test Subject. I'm not entirely sure if that's its final name, if there's anything they've got to change, but it has perfectly in sync as the talent if I've got the right weapon. One of the weapons that is new in the game has the talent perfectly in sync. They're not even coming up with ideas for new talents and stuff, they're literally just robbing that off the Harmony, sticking it on another gun as well. The amount of times players have asked for something like patience. I'm going to leave the video there. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.